chicken right there. It needs some food. So you're going to, this cup is going, your robot's going to come grab this cup and get the cup completely behind the imaginary red line that would be from here to here. The setup guide shows you exactly where this little fence is. The cup, it can be anywhere in here. It can even be upside down, just as long as the cup's in there and the chicken now has maggots from your house, okay? This little cup, it can be set up, I think it was within 4 inches of the house, anywhere within 4 inches of the house. The next mission would be the chicken poop. As long as they're not touching, that's all that really matters. The chicken poop can either be brought back to home base for points. Thank you. It can be brought back to home base for points. And I already have some starting here, by the way, because you're gonna get choices. This chicken poop can either go to the garden. As long as you have 5 chicken poop in the garden, then you get X amount of points. As long as you have 5 poop in the pond, then you get X amount of points.
10 points per poop.
What's that?
10 points.
10 points. Well, on these, it was not 10 points per poop. It was. So it's 10 points per poop. Oh my gosh.
Before the edit, right?
And it doesn't matter
before
where it doesn't matter where it ends, right? As long as it ends here
As
or
long as it's
here.
behind the imaginary line that we would see covering from this post to that post, or all of it's on the blue. Doesn't matter where it is inside there.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, you can put all of them in here, for example, and you get the same amount of points as if you were distributing them.
It's a greater than or equal to kind of a thing, but there's at least got to be 5. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we've covered the pond, we've covered the chicken. For all of the poop that get brought back here, yeah, I think that was 10 points. On the garden here, this is the garden, that the food that serves the home, the kingdom. For bringing all of the different vegetables back, they all have to be at least 1 inch apart. These squares are all 1 inch. Make sure they're at least 1 inch. You can put them wherever you want. Make sure the drone, this is representing a drone right here, is also 1 inch from everything else. And then the robot goes up here. There's no limit to how many objects you can grab at once. You can grab everything and bring it back all at the same time. And you get points for each one of those things. The drone, this is so cool. So I started a drone program in my classroom. Drones are now doing agricultural assessments and surveying. We actually bought one of these drones. It's like $5,000. It's ridiculously expensive. But these drones, guys, they fly over the garden and then they tell farmers where it's cold, where it's hot, where it's wet, where it's dry. And what used to take farmers so long to do, now it can be done in 30 minutes without them even getting out of bed. It's insane. So that's why we have this drone technology, and of course that's in our curriculum. You'll learn about it. You'll see videos about it. So there's the garden. Over here, of course, there's the house. There's a whole write-up on how to set up the house. There's the limitations. It goes here in this corner. It's touching the back of the mat on the top and the side. It's got to be, hey, what does the guide say on the size limitation?
Okay, I was talking.
It was on the setup guide.
I'm bad.
Well,
12 by 12, I think.
I think it was, but I want to also, part of me says 12, 13. Okay, she'll find it. It's on the setup for quadrant 1. She'll find it. Okay, so.
They have to build the house?
Yeah, they're gonna build a house out of trash. Please do not buy anything. It needs to be stuff that's removed from just reuse, reduce, rethink, recycle.
Build
Just
it
something
before
else.
the competition.
Yes, they build it from garbage. Yes, you're gonna be building a house from garbage. Before the competition, when you bring it there and set it up, imagine this entire room full of game tables with beautiful houses made out of trash. And I'm so looking forward to what you guys come up with on that. It's gonna be so awesome.
And the maggots, you said the things that we're going to feed the chickens?
Yes.
They have to be 4 inches from the base of like your house?
Any part of your house, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, any part of your house. And then there's a light bulb that's on this house. It is a solar light bulb. So being that it's a solar light bulb, it's also night activated. So whenever you charge it and something goes over the top of it, the light bulb comes on. So the concept here is whenever this solar panel goes over the top of the light bulb, and my light bulb's not charged, sorry, it's been used too much. When this goes over the top of it, the light bulb turns on. So you put your light bulb anywhere on your house and just set it up so that you can put your solar panel on the light bulb and the light comes on. And so that's the light bulb challenge. Next we have what do we do with trash from our Ecobot kingdom? We obviously take our food and put it here so we can, complete the cycle of eating. But we have cans, we have paper. The bottle goes here on 280 and 310 on the paper thing. You have a few different options. The simplest thing, bring the trash back. And by the way, these are things that you're using around your classrooms. I did not provide the can, the toilet paper roll, and the bottle. So those are things that y'all provide from your homes. Bring them back to home base. I think it's 10 points a piece, or maybe 20 for doing that. Or you can put them in the bins. You get more points for putting them inside the recycle bins with your robot. Where did he go? You remember what you just said?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
What did you just say?
Well, if it's not in the rules.
That is hilarious. Oh my god. So, what's that?
Is it a maximum one item per bin?
No, you can actually put multiple items in one bin.
Does that still count as the 10 points for each one?
Yep. Well,
And
so 10 points was bringing it back here, but it's more difficult to get it in the bin. So, getting it in, as long as it's in a bin, I think it was 20 or 30 points per item on the guide.
Is the trash need to be that size? Or can it be little?
So that's a good question. Let's stick with a standard size water bottle, any size can, but of course the larger the can, the more difficult. So get a smaller can, and then a standard roll of toilet paper, and just pull that out of the middle of your toilet paper rolls where I got it from.
Can two of those things be in one bin?
Yeah, you can put them all in one bin as long as it's been recycled. That's all we're looking for.
Do you have to pick up you have to take the trash, bring it home, and then put it in the bin, or you can pick it up, put it in the bin?
That's a good question. So the robots could do any variety of what you just said. The robot could come out here, grab it, and put it in there, or it could bring it back home. The only purpose to really bring it home is to reposition it on the robot, or just to get the 10 points. So it's just, at the end of the day, it's your choice on how you do it. As long as it ends up here at the end of 2.5 minutes, however you want to do it. The third option is the coolest option. It's the most difficult option, but it's definitely the coolest in my eyes. You can take the trash and get it onto your home for way more points. You're adding trash to the home, and so you're building up your recycled home even more by the robot getting this on there anyway, upside down, sideways, however you want, as long as it's not touching the mat. Hey Daryl, what's up, man? As long as it's not touching the mat and it's somewhere on your house, boom, you are now contributing to the, I love it, questions.
If you get the trash that was right there,
Mm-hmm.
then you bring it back to base, and then you put it in the bin, and you still get the 10 points.
It's either or. So if you bring it back to home base, and just remember this, it's like the judge at the end of 2.5 minutes, okay, where's it at? It's almost like the judge is not even watching you during the round. He just wants to know where everything is at the end. So can't get the points and get that. It's just one or the other. Good question though.
How many points do you get?
Gosh, it was a lot. How many points was it, Misty, for trash on the house? 40.
40 points per item.
So that's 40 points per item. Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Now, what if the house meets the dimensions to start, and then you take the trash and add it to
That's
the house?
okay.
Is that disqualified?
No, that's fine. That's a great question. He asked, does your trash extend the dimensions and disqualify the house from points? No, definitely not.
So the students can design the house to with that in mind, keep the goal of having
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, careful, you're giving it away.
Yeah. I was just thinking about that.
That's awesome. Very cool. So we got the house, we got the trash, we got the food, we got the pond. Oh, and by the way, I don't know what happened to it. I had it here a little while ago, but I gave everybody a little fish. It's just for decorations. It goes on the pond, and so does my frog. It was just for decorations because it makes it cute. Over here, we have ecotricity because we've got to provide power to the Ecobot kingdom. Here is where you're going to take an object from home base. This is your wind turbine, and you're going to set up the wind turbine where it stays in the cup. It's quite a bit of points. In your kit, I did not cut this at all. There's no specific on it. You just cut cut it down to where it's to your advantage. You can cut it any way you want. I have no rules on that.
So you can remove it outright too.
Yeah, if you want to. Hey, Misty.
I'm here.
Would you tell them head out in the
Deal
hallway?
with this,
So yeah, what he was asking is, could you just take the straw off completely and just set it in there? Absolutely, it's totally up to you. All right, and I like to use a lot of things that you can reuse. And we were having this conversation. In most years, I try to get stuff but you can reuse it some way or whatever after you're done. And you have the whole part of this you can take and stick in your yard when you're done with this. That all comes together as a whole. And so there's I know. Well, what do you do with that? I got like 500 of these in my classroom. I can't figure out what to do with them.
We're gonna be building that house out of the
That would be
trash
cool.
that we have from all
Oh,
our
I thought you told me you were
Ecobot.
building it out of that.
No, the other Ecobot challenges from
That's
years.
a great
you know.
idea.
We have a big box
Oh
of
my
stuff.
gosh.
Well, if you run summer camps too, you
Yeah,
have, you know, and you can do more than what you can in your class or your club.
Yeah.
You've got kits from previous years that you can, you
Yeah.
know, they can be working on an old
That's
Ecobot challenge.
awesome.
Because you can combine your kits.
I would
as
be
far as resources go.
so amazed to see old Ecobot materials and old camp materials be reused in this. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. I didn't even think
You
about
should
that.
do a challenge one year with that.
That's a good
Because
idea.
like Vex, they put like millions of dollars into like just pieces to use and they never touch them again.
Yeah,
And people always give the most feedback.
that's a good idea, guys.
Using it back to, because then once you like I say we give you the $10 for the pieces and then it sits and gets dust in the closet.
Yeah.
Say like 3 years now, it's like throwback. Now you're doing like the last 3 competitions into one competition.
You got my wheels turning.
Yeah.
What if we have trash here? Do we bring home as points?
Wait, say that one more time.
What if we have some trash over here and
Oh, that's a good question. So, she's asking if there's trash over here. Are you talking about trash that'll be part of the house? Or just, okay, so trash that's part of the house can't be brought back home. The only objects that you can score on by bringing trash back home would be the bottle, the cardboard, or the can. Then those are the only 3 things that are gonna get you points.
And we set those all up on the map before we like start the rubber. And there's just one of each, right?
Yes, just one of each.
Another question I had about the house was like, for example, these popsicle sticks and whatnot to decorate it. Is that still allowed? Like, the base structure can be out of trash, but like paint and like all that.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, decorated. I'm trying to remember what that was, but I found some paint in the garage. I just found some stuff. You can use anything you want to decorate with. Obviously, I came up with all kinds of crazy things here from out of our kitchen and everywhere else. But yeah, paint with whatever you want. Question?
how many points do we get?
Oh, this one, I can't remember how much it was. I want to say it was maybe 20, if I remember correctly. But all that's in the guide. It's in there. I wish I could remember all the point values for it. But that's your wind turbine. Underneath here, you have your nuclear energy. I provided you a whole tube, and I got these for $1 for an entire pack. It's like insanely awesome. You have 15 of them. It doesn't matter if they're cracked or activated or whatever. And by the way, I'm going to be sending you guys. You take my glow sticks when you go today, okay? Make sure you necklaces, whatever you want to do with them. If you want to wait and save these to be cracked whenever your game day, however you want to do it. Whenever you set them in here, the rule says you cannot connect them. You can't connect them where. I'm sorry. You can put them in a circle, but you can't connect them like this so that where you grab one and it brings all of them back. So I think it's 10 points a piece for grabbing these and bringing them back. Set them up however you want. As long as they're completely covered up by the grass, then that's all that matters. This is methane energy right here. Methane energy, you're trying to collect it. So, oh, and by the way, on setup, we'll talk about that in a second. But these cups, you can put these anywhere you want on the grass. Set them anywhere you want. This is the methane. You're trying to capture the methane, so the robot comes over here, drops this on top of the methane so that you're collecting methane and using it for energy. And there's, of course, curriculum that talks about what methane is good for. This is a solar farm right here. You're going to take your other piece of solar panel and you're going to come over here and drop this on here. As long as it's on top of the solar panel, your little light will come on down there. And now you're representing that you installed solar energy into your farm, in essence. So now you have nuclear, methane, solar, and wind energy, providing energy back to your kingdom, in theory. I think that was.
Sorry, I have a question. You're telling the kids have to collect the glow sticks underneath the grass while having all of that on top.
It goes back to the same.
It goes back to exactly
The same point that I made
okay.
It's
before.
going to invoke a how
But
do
it
we
has
do
to
this?
be under. They just say it has to be underneath the grass. So that's the only. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's a question.
Yep.
If I was to theoretically move the grass magically, with all the glow sticks and everything, take the glow sticks out and put it in my magical box, and then push the grass back with the cups.
That was the whole point. That was the whole point.
Wait, so the grass has to be back there.
Giving it away.
Does the grass have to
Yeah,
be
the
in
grass.
same exact
The grass
spot?
has got to be back here in the corner when it's all said and done. And like this one, there's little rules like these little bins have got to, they got to be behind that line, and the pond has got to be inside that blue line. There's little rules that you'll see inside the guide on setup where it's got to be after it's done. Sometimes I even say, not very often this year, but sometimes I say this object may not be brought back to home base. But I didn't say it much this year because I'm really, really, really pushing for the out of the box aha type moments. So there's the wind energy, there's the game as a whole, and questions about the different missions. Anything?
The vegetables and fruit. Are all the dimensions the same? Like the peach and.
Oh, they're all really, really close.
They're very similar,
Very,
very
very good.
similar. Just a few centimeters off on a few of them, but either way, we just want to make sure that they are at least 1 inch apart within that.